We are standing right on the edge of a computational shift so massive, it's going to completely redefine what's even possible. The age of the silicon chip, well, that's coming to an end. And we're about to step into a strange and frankly incredible new world, the world of quantum computing.
Okay, just to give you an idea of the scale of this leap, check out these numbers. There's a certain problem that would take the fastest supercomputer on the planet 47 years to figure out. Google's quantum chip just did it in 6 seconds. That's not just a little bit faster. That is a fundamentally different reality.
So the first thing you're probably asking is, how on earth is that even possible? Well, the answer takes us right to the very edge of our current technology and kind of pushes us off a cliff into the bizarre, counterintuitive rules of the quantum realm.
To really get what this quantum future is all about, we first have to understand the physical wall that classical computing has just slammed right into. It truly is the end of an incredible era.
Believe it or not, for the last 2,000 years, the story of computing has really been just one story. This relentless, unstoppable quest to make the parts smaller. From these incredible mechanical gears in ancient Greece, to room-sized computers, to transistors the size of a grain of rice, until eventually we could fit an entire computer on the tip of a finger.
And this whole march forward was powered by this one powerful prediction called Moore's Law. For 50 years, it was the engine of progress. It was the simple reason our phones, our laptops, everything just kept getting exponentially faster and cheaper, year after year after year.
But here's the thing. That incredible engine, it is finally sputtering out. I mean, we have managed to shrink transistors down to the width of just a few atoms. And when you get that small, the nice, dependable laws of physics that we all know, they start to break down. Things get very, very weird.
So, how do we break through this wall? Well, the solution is just ingenious. Instead of fighting all that weirdness happening at the atomic level, scientists decided, hey, what if we just use it? If we can't make the hardware any smaller, we've got to get smarter by literally changing the rules of the game.
All right, here is the absolute key difference. The computer you're using right now runs on bits. They're just simple switches, right? They're either on or they're off, a 1 or a 0. But a quantum computer uses something called a qubit. Now, a good way to think about a qubit is like a spinning coin. While it's spinning in the air, it's not heads or tails. It's kind of both at the same time. This bizarre property is called superposition.
And this idea of superposition gives you an unbelievable advantage. Imagine you have to solve a maze with, say, 1 billion different paths. A classical computer would have to try each path one by one. I mean, that could literally take centuries. But a quantum computer, because of superposition, explores every single path at the exact same time. It finds a solution almost instantly.
Now, to make this incredible power actually work, quantum computers have to get a handle on two of the most counterintuitive, frankly, mind-bending ideas in all of physics. So, pillar number 1 is superposition, which lets a single qubit explore all those paths at once. But the second pillar is something called entanglement. This is where two qubits become, well, linked, mysteriously connected. What happens to one instantly affects the other, even if they're miles apart. This connection is what lets their power grow exponentially, creating this one massive interconnected thinking space.
Okay, but there is a catch, and I mean a huge one. Qubits are unbelievably delicate. The tiniest vibration, a slight change in temperature, any little thing can cause them to just pop. They lose their special quantum state. This is called decoherence, and when it happens, poof, the entire calculation is gone.
But scientists came up with this brilliant workaround, quantum error correction. Basically, they use a whole team of those fragile physical qubits just to create one super robust, logical qubit. So if one of the qubits on the team starts to wobble or fail, the others can step in, correct the error, and keep the data safe. It's this teamwork, this redundancy, that makes these powerful calculations possible. So now that we kind of get how these things work, let's get to the really exciting part. The so what? Why does any of this matter? What kind of problems are we actually going to be able to solve in a world with quantum computers? Well, first up, medicine is going to be completely transformed. See, the universe, our bodies, diseases, they all run on quantum rules. And for the very first time, we're building a tool that speaks nature's native language. This means we can simulate molecules perfectly, discovering new drugs in months instead of decades. We can finally tackle horrible diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer at their very source. And it goes way beyond our own biology. Quantum computers could help us solve some of humanity's biggest, most existential challenges. We're talking about designing new materials that can literally pull carbon out of the air, creating hyper-efficient batteries, accurately modeling climate change, and even simulating the universe to understand things like dark matter and black holes. And maybe most powerfully of all, quantum computing is going to be like rocket fuel for artificial intelligence. It can solve the incredibly complex problems that are at the heart of machine learning. And that creates this amazing feedback loop. Smarter AI helps us build better quantum computers, which in turn makes the AI even smarter. It's an explosion of intelligence.
You know, this isn't some new idea. The legendary physicist Richard Feynman was talking about this all the way back in the 1980s. He knew that to truly understand our quantum universe, our clunky classical computers would never be enough. We had to build a computer that was itself quantum. Think about it. In the 20th century, we unlocked the power of the atom, and that brought both incredible promise and terrible peril. It changed the world. Today, we're at a similar moment. We're unlocking the fundamental operating system of reality itself. The only question is, what are we going to choose to build with it?